In the wise words of advice that somebody gave me at some point in my life, be careful of the words you use in war, even if you are at war, because they might come back to bite you in your big, juicy bottom, Doug Ford. A flashback to the time Doug Ford said that he would not hesitate to shut off electricity to the states to hurt American families. Behold.
Are you serious when you say that you would shut off the supply of electricity? I think one report quoted you as saying with a smile on your face.
Well, that's the last thing I want to do, Carl. I want to send more electricity down to the U.S., to our closest allies or our best neighbors in the world. I want to send more electricity. Is it a tool in our toolkit? 100%. And as he continues to hurt Canadian families, Ontario families, I won't hesitate to do that. That's the last thing I want to do. I apologize to the American people. There's one person to be blamed, and that's President Trump. There's one person to be blamed. If we go into a recession, it will be called the Trump recession.
I mean, it'll have to be called the Trump recession after Justin Trudeau's she-session. This is what narcissists and sociopaths do. They blame the victim. It's, I don't want to do this. You're making me do this. Remember when this was? This was during the tariff crisis back in, I want to say 2024, 2025. And Doug Ford, the premier of Ontario, Doug Ford is like basically an American governor. It's the equivalent of a governor of the equivalent of a state, the province of Ontario, talking tough about how he was going to retaliate against Donald John Trump's use of tariffs to punish Canada for the fentanyl crisis, criminals crossing the border, and basically having no control over their own border and drug crisis in their own country. You got to listen to the words one more time because you'll appreciate them differently. This is Doug Ford threatening to retaliate. The reporter asks him, "You were reported as having said you would cut off electricity to the states. Some reports said, with a smile on my face." That is referring to what Doug Ford said as he said he would do it.
No one else.
Here, hold on.
Are you serious when you say that you would shut off the supply of electricity? I think one report quoted you as saying with a smile on your face.
Well, I think one report said you said it with a smile on your face. But this is the same buffoon, by the way, who poured out a bottle of Chivas Regal to, protest the fact that people were up and leaving, taking their businesses out of Ontario and Canada. With a smile on your face. Oh, look, he can't smile right now because he's trying to woo some goodwill with American propagandist outlets. So I don't want to do it. You make me do it.
Well, that's the last thing I want to do, Carl. I want to send more electricity.
You think I want to hit you? You think I like doing this? Classic. Darvo, deny, attack, reverse victim and offender.
Down to the U.S., to our closest allies or our best neighbors in the world. I want to send more electricity. Is it a tool in our toolkit? 100%.
Is it a tool in our toolkit to cut off electricity, and why? Listen to this.
And as he continues to hurt Canadian families, Ontario families, I won't hesitate to do that.
As he continues to hurt Canadian families with tariffs, I won't hesitate to do that. Hurt American families by cutting off electricity, the Ontario import of electricity to the United States. Now, why isn't this all relevant today? Why are we starting with, I won't make fun of him. He actually looks like he might have been, paying attention to his health. I won't make fun of certain elements of Doug Ford that are easy to make fun of. I will just call him a buffoon, and I will weigh my words even in battle. I once called the leader of the Green Party, Elizabeth May, a drunken retard. I don't regret it. In fact, I double down on it every day of the week. Weigh your words and choose how you fight, because some things cannot be unsaid. And I said this in the context of the fight between Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene, Trump and Thomas Massie. Some things cannot be unsaid even after the fight is over. Referring to certain people as the Epstein class and the implications of being pedo protectors. You can't take those things back at the end of the day. When Kamala Harris called Joe Biden racist, you don't just get to say, "It was a debate, Joe," or whatever the hell she said that to. So there's certain things you don't say even in battle. Doug Ford crossed that line. Why is this all relevant? And now let's take a brief pause from this video for a word from our sponsor, The Wellness Company. People, Americans love sushi. Over the last 2 decades, raw fish consumption has exploded. Sushi bars are everywhere. Grocery stores and gas stations sell it, and millions of people now eat raw fish weekly. But there's a hidden risk most people don't think about: parasites. Salmon is one of the most popular fish worldwide, but it naturally contains more than 70 parasites. Most are tiny, nearly impossible to see, and they are making their way into the human body. Once inside, parasites can hide for years while frequently laying eggs before any symptoms appear. This is why many physicians are raising awareness about parasite exposure. Dr. Peter McCullough recommends doing a parasite cleanse at least once a year as a preventative measure. The wellness company offers a hard-to-access RX parasite cleanse, USA compounded ivermectin, and mebendazole. Ivermectin paralyzes the parasite's nervous system, while mebendazole starves them. Each capsule contains 25 milligrams of ivermectin and 250 milligrams of mebendazole. Lab tested for quality, you can now get a more budget-friendly 45 capsule option that costs $250 less, giving you two 21-day parasite cleanse cycles. Same formula as the original, just a smaller quantity. Head over to twc.health/Viva. Use code VIVA to get $35 off plus free shipping. This is for USA residents only. Head over to twc.health/Viva for your discount. Thank you, the Wellness Company, for sponsoring this video. And now back to the vlog. Well, as you all know, yet again, it's another summer, so therefore there's going to be more forest fires in Canada. They'll blame it on the climate crisis, when in reality it's, I won't say strictly the result of, but arguably the result of, I would say, criminal negligence, negligent mismanagement of the forests, and probably, because it happens every year, a little bit of arson. So there's raging forest fires in Ontario. They're barely able to deal with it, whether or not it has anything to do with the fact that they've purged their firefighters due to vaccine mandates, or, you know, they're more interested in diversity, equity, and inclusion and the 2S LGBTQIA+ than making sure that you have the required manpower for the firefighters. They're having wicked forest fires that are literally, and yet again, contaminating the air in the States because it's being blown north to south. Article from Politico. Doug Ford says, Ontario Premier to Trump, stop wildfire insults and help your friends. This coming from the man who, not that long ago, said, I'm going to cut off electricity to the States to protest your tariffs and deliberately hurt American families because I don't want to do it, but Trump's going to make me do it. Why don't you send up some water bombers? Why don't you start helping us like we would help you in a heartbeat, Ontario, Doug Ford said. Now, I'm going to come back to this article in a second. There are some people saying out there, and not wrongly so, if they help you every year, maybe you're not learning the lessons. If they help you every year, maybe you're not remedying the problem that requires the help year after year after year. I want to play this one. This is just a glorious, glorious clip. I'm going back to my coverage of the forest fires in.
I would say that it's always sad, and I would say also very infuriating. I would say that it's always sad, and I would say also very infuriating to see that people are lighting up fires in the boreal forest on purpose. Of course, that's very sad. This happened, but of course, the conditions, the weather conditions, were very, very fire conducive this year, and so. Notwithstanding the cause of the fire, if it's an arson, if it's a accidental fire, human caused fire, or natural fires, conditions have to be very conducive to have the kind of fires that we had this year. Saying that the climate change was not involved in those fires, even if they are arson, human caused, or natural, is kind of intellectual dishonesty, I would say. And it has been already proven that those conditions that happen in Quebec were at least twice likely to occur because of climate change. So yeah, that's very important to say.
I didn't mean to put this scientist on blast. This was just literally the last time they had forest fires in Canada. I said Babylon Bee level insanity. It was a CTV News, not directly state funded, but state subsidized propagandist outlet. And we made the joke, like they were calling it climate crisis wildfires, exactly like they were doing in California, when it's the result of arguably, but potentially not arguably, criminal mismanagement of the forests, not cleaning up debris, not allowing people to clean up debris. So you have all this tinder basically sitting out there ready to catch fire. A lot of the fires in Canada were actual arson. And I said, when they were calling them climate crisis, it's like, there's reports of arrests. The Nova Scotia forest fire was arson. And I jokingly said before this came out, dudes, they're going to say, yeah, sure, it's arson, but climate crisis exacerbated the problem. They literally found an expert to say that back in the day. If you refuse to acknowledge what the source of the problem is, and you come out year after year saying, help us, we don't think we're the problem. It's the climate crisis. It's nothing to do with our management or arguably, potentially, what do they call them? Environmental activists, environmental terrorists. It's a terrible thing having a memory and being mildly obsessive compulsive. Hold on. Where was it back in the day? All of these fires that they initially claimed were natural, were the result of climate change. This was from a Nova Scotia man charged with starting province's largest ever fire. The charges against Dalton Clark Stewart came days after a Quebec man, inspired by conspiracy theories, pleaded guilty to 14 charges. The fires that are happening in Canada are apparently frequently the result of criminal arson. They blame it on the climate crisis. Canada, which has been cozying up to China and flaming the fans of animosity with the U.S., is now Doug Ford himself, the man who threatened to cut off electricity to harm American families, is now saying, don't insult us, don't criticize us for this year after year problem of our dereliction of duty. Just come and help us so we can learn nothing, and next year you have the exact same problem. Ontario Premier Doug Ford on Monday took a shot at President Trump's threat to impose additional tariffs on Canada over wildfire smoke, calling it rubbish that drives him crazy. Here's an idea, Dougie. Sorry, I'm not showing you the article. Here's an idea, Dougie. Fix your damn problems instead of getting mad at the people who are getting mad at the consequences of your problems, because in this era of globalism, a forest fire in Canada is polluting the airs in America. Don't get mad that you're an incompetent buffoon of a leader. Get mad at people getting mad at the fact that there are consequences to you being an incompetent buffoon of a leader. Ford said Canadians, including from his province, have helped American battle wildfires in places such as California, another place where it's the result of criminal mismanagement, and Minnesota in recent years, and suggested that Trump should return the favor by sending water bombers up to Canada. I guess they, if we're being cynical, as cozy as are the relations with Canada and China, I guess China is not really sending over any water bombers yet. Maybe it takes a little bit of time to come over from China. With all the assets the U.S. has, and he's sitting there complaining, why don't you, can you imagine anything more entitled than this? You're a bigger country. Your GDP is bigger than ours. You have all these assets in the world. Why don't you just come and help us? Because we're entitled to the help after basically politically shitting on you for the better part of 2 years. Why don't you start helping us like we helped you in a heartbeat, Ford said in a press conference. The response is the sharpest to come from Canada since Trump complained last week about wildfires from the north of the border, dulling the skies of several American cities and threatening tariffs if Prime Minister Carney didn't do something about it. I'd say the only fringe benefit to any of this is it makes sunsets that much more beautiful. Canada has refused to engage in basic forest management and debris removal, Trump posted on Truth on Friday. This is willful negligence and becoming a yearly occurrence, costing the United States billions of dollars, hurting American lives. It's not to say it's not hurting Canadians also, but Canadians are kind of stuck with the government that they re-elected. Congrats. Which cost of this pollution must of necessity be added to the tariffs Canada is paying. He repeated his complaint on Sunday when Carney was in New Jersey with him for the World Cup final. Carney has held his powder while lauding the efforts of emergency response workers, but not Ford, who has never been shy about opening his big fat trap to the detriment of Ontario residents. He's never been shy about adopting his Captain Canada persona. Dude, Captain Canada? I don't want to make the jokes that everybody has to make. There's one thing lacking from his Captain Canada persona, and that's the physique of Captain Canada. Ford said he's frustrated, yada, yada, yada. You should support your neighbors. That's my message to the president. Oh, you said, sorry to go on a little rant, but it drives me crazy. Ford pointed to his incredible relationship with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Oh, we'll be talking about Tim Walz today as well, who ran against Trump as vice presidential candidate, yada, yada, yada. Walz called Ford to assist YMCA campers stranded at a lake, the premier said, and he responded by sending Ontario Provincial Police to accompany Canadian Armed Forces to assist. Can you imagine that you are being governed by a bunch of incompetent buffoons who allow this situation to occur in the first place, but then are so flipping incompetent that they need international assistance to rescue campers stranded at a lake? I mean, if that's the level of preparedness of Canada, beg for as much help as you can get, and then bring out the pitchforks when it comes to the politicians who created these circumstances in the first place. And P.S., no, it wasn't Donald Trump. Canadians have also sent out water bombs to battle California blaze recently, yada yada. Ford is bound for Prince Edward Island for a meeting with Carney and his fellow provincial leaders this week. He said plans to make advocating for a national wildfire strategy a top priority. I'm sorry, only now? We didn't learn from Nova Scotia's largest wildfire ever, the result of arson. We didn't learn from the summer of smoke up in Quebec, also arson. Now you're going, as it burns again, you're going to go to a nice trip on Prince Edward Island. Make sure to get some lobster rolls while you're out there, Dougie. And they're going to now advocate for a national wildfire strategy, make it a top priority. We need the support from the federal government. They've been very good. They've been good. Dash 8 planes, yada, yada, yada. On Sunday, California Democratic Senator Adam Schiff said on social media he was proud of the fact that Canadian firefighters helped battle the blazes in his state in 2025 and 2020, branding Trump's tariffs comments as the threats of a rambling and failing leader. Do you know what is the result of a failing leader? The Palisades fire and the fires up in Canada are the comments or the consequences of the actions of failed leaders. Doug Ford, you're one of them. Trudeau bouncing around with Katy Perry, you're the other. Mark J. Carney, the former 3-passport carrying globalist tour is the other. Quote, when California was burning, why was it burning, Schiff? Why was it burning, Schiff? Canada sent firefighters, planes, and assistance, not insults, Schiff wrote, adding, we should show some humanity. Now, I tend to agree. You should show some humanity. And I think Trump would not hesitate to provide the required help. You should show some humanity. You should also show some common sense and responsibility. When your state or your country is burning summer after summer and you don't learn your lessons and yet somehow you remain in power, you should expect some humanity from those who have humanity. And you should also expect to suffer the consequences, political or other, as a result of your absolute governmental negligence. And if you don't learn your lesson year after year after year, all of the help in the world, all of the subsidies in the world, all of the assistance from international partners in the world is not going to remedy the problem because you are clearly not learning from your past mistakes. With that said, if you're watching this on CommieTube as a separate clip, like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. This is Viva Fry Daily on Rumble.